There we are.
So as a real estate agent, you can revolutionize the way that you do designs on your marketing, including using AI with Canva. So oh crap, I forgot the last thing. We can streamline the marketing process that can take your okay. As a real estate agent, you can revolutionize the way that you do marketing and design with AI, including with Canva. You can use it to streamline your processes and take your business to the next level.
Yeah, but the problem is we're not designers. We already wear so many hats. We have AI to help, but not all of us know how to use it.
Right. So if you want to learn about how to use AI and Canva and create clickable resources and sort of like clickable thumbnails, you want to create beautiful designs for your Instagram, for social media posts, this is the podcast for you.
Let's go. All right. So we're done with the hook, and now we're going to go straight into essentially the speaking points.
Yeah, we're just going to start talking about AI and design.
Okay.
So Ian, it's a big topic, the AI. We talked about it in our last episode, but what does it mean in terms of for design? Because I think people are kind of like, why would you use AI for design? It just talks to you. Right.
It doesn't just talk to you. I think that's what's funny is a lot of people have this misconception up at the beginning because they hear AI and they're like, I don't want to deal with it. But the people that are embracing it, they're really learning that AI can enhance your ability to do your current job. So an example is even the software that we're really familiar with, such as Canva, has implemented AI tools, which we're going to go over today, because that AI enhancement makes that software more valuable. And we will in the future compare things like Canva versus PicMonkey. I don't know if you've heard of that, but PicMonkey doesn't have AI, so that doesn't fit in our discussion today.
So yeah, Canva just announced recently basically all the things they were doing. So they did already have some AI in there, and then they were throwing in more features that they're using AI. So they're going all in on this AI stuff, which I think is really important. And it's going to take some time for you as an agent to set up for some of the things, like, for example, when you want to use your branding. But I want to show you guys, I don't know if you've done this yet, Ian, how to use AI. So if you don't have ChatGPT,
Yep.
and you want to use Canva as ChatGPT, maybe you can share my screen and I will show people.
Sure.
Also, people are wondering if you can do this on the free version, and you can, because I have paid version, but it's really not that much for paid version. So if you go into Doc to start writing, you can use their feature called Magic Edit. So I can use this typing as the same thing as ChatGPT. So what are some prompts that we can ask? We'll ask ChatGPT the same thing that we're going to ask Canva. So you can see the different user interface. So,
well, let's use the listing description, right? We have a 4-bed, 3-bath home on an acre lot.
4-bed, 5-bath home.
So it's funny. I actually was just in El Paso and I did have one of those, but yeah, that's fine. I know it seems backwards, but it works. 4-bed, 5-bath home on an acre with views, with sweeping views. Or you can just put it with views.
That's just text right now. We need to actually grab the magic edit button.
Yes.
Which you can do this on your phone too.
That is
I actually
really important.
used it on my phone. I'm actually not seeing the magic edit button on here because there is a magic edit button.
Yeah.
And I don't see it here. Okay, we're gonna have to re-record this part. Where did it go?
Oh, that sucks.
Because normally it's on the phone. I've done it on the phone, but why is it not here? Because I've seen it on here before too. Okay, let me just delete this. Oh, here it is. Magic right. Gotta do it before.
Okay, so let's start from where? What's the timer down at the bottom? We got to close that.
Okay, so where should we start back from? I guess you can just.
We're gonna start typing so let's just go ahead and use a listing and description, right? So I've got a let's say a 5-bed.
So before we do that, we're gonna hit this plus button and click magic right. So it does say it has that little professional logo on there. So you do need to have professional for this. And
Mm,
then you just hit write me a listing description, 4 bed, 5 bath on an acre with views. Okay.
perfect.
I'm going to hit return. Return. Who says return?
People in Canada, apparently, I think.
This is Canva, not Canada. So now it's not that amazing compared to ChatGPT, because if you want to write the same thing in ChatGPT, what does it give you?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me pull it up.
Try the same thing.
That's funny you say that because I was
Because
over here. I have something that I can't show because that's going to be our bonus if you stay to the end. Let me share chat. Share window chat.
yes, because
Okay, so what's my prompt?
write me a listing description, 4 bedroom, 5 bathroom home on an acre with views. So for the
Got it.
listeners on the podcast, what Canva gave me was this stunning 4 bedroom, 5 bath home sits on a beautiful acre lot with breathtaking views. With ample space and luxurious amenities, this home is perfect for those who love to entertain or simply enjoy the finer things in life. Don't miss out on the opportunity to make this dream home yours. Now, Ian just typed the exact same prompt, and already I'm seeing that it's a lot more descriptive and
Yeah,
longer, like quite a
yeah.
bit longer. Welcome to your dream home, this stunning 4 bed, 5 bath home boasts breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape. As you enter the front door, you'll be greeted by a spacious and bright living area. It's going to keep going on. So you're going to have to watch
They,
the
they don't
live
know if
stream
it's
to see that.
spacious or bright. They don't know. That's
They
so.
don't know
This is
nothing.
that's really important when you're thinking about any of these AI tools versus the perspective of someone in real life. And it's kind of the same thing as Zillow doesn't know all of the details of the comps like the realtors who are local to the market know. It's the same
Right.
thing with AI. The AI is not in the house to see that the light bulbs have been changed or the windows are open or that there are tall ceilings unless you type tall
But you can
ceilings.
exactly, you can tell them all the features, and we
Yeah.
did talk about it in the first episodes. If you didn't watch or
Yeah.
listen to that one, make sure you
We'll
give
link
that a
it.
listen. We go into the detail about how to kind of get the right listing description worked out. But here we just wanted to quickly show you that Canva does have a magic right component, so you could use it. I would personally rather just use ChatGPT for this purpose, but Canva also has different things. They call it magic. So in their world, AI is magic, which I guess it is
I,
magic. And it will show you how to do other things. So we'll show you some other things of how you can use Canva in that way. But it also talks about using AI to make listing presentations. So if you go into now, Canva is all completely inundated with AI. So if you say, I want to make a listing presentation,
okay, I'm pulling Canva back.
so you just click listing presentation. I'm searching it. Their search engine is magic. And then you can
Yes.
see this magic design is also in beta mode right now. You can insert media. So I can insert, like, I want to do a
For the
listing
house.
presentation for
With the
this
house.
house,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Good old
perfect.
realtor always has um, that just pulled up all the time. I wasn't even prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You can click a style. So they have, you remember we talked about vibe. Here's your vibe or your theme. And you can choose the different kinds of, they've already created different vibes, right? So you can choose if you haven't created your own branding. This is awesome because you might say, I like the look of this, and then you can adapt that as your look. This is a newer feature that Canva has. And you can choose, let's say I'm going to pick this one and I want to add, I don't know. There's another vibe you can add on here. I want clean. Oops, where did it go? This clean look.
You notice that Canva's using the term vibe.
I know.
Remember
I
we were
that's
talking about
what I just
teenagers?
said to you. You missed the joke when I
I
was
did. I'm
teasing you.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh
I've got a
my god.
contract coming in right now, so I'm like,
So okay, so you click see results, and then now it's going to, from the media that we just loaded, you can add
from
more
that
photos.
picture.
Now it just
Beautiful.
made me a listing presentation. Look at this. Like, I mean, obviously you can put more photos in here,
It looks
but
very
it's,
Canadian.
you can, how
It's
does it
like
look Canadian? Because it has snow right now.
yeah,
Yes, it's
well, I
so
was gonna
snowing
say
right
yeah,
now.
a little bit of snow, but also earthy tones. Whenever
But that's what I
and
chose, right? I chose that color
yes,
selection.
yeah.
And you'll see some of them have pro, like this one's
Look,
not pro, but
if you
this one's
added some
pro.
maple leaves, oh man, that'd be perfect.
Oh
That'd
my
be the
gosh.
perfect
We do not put
listing
maple leaves in
presentation.
our listing presentations. But let's say I like this look. You can click
Uh-huh.
this, and now when I click customize this template, it's pulling up all of it because that was just the front page.
Beautiful.
So now
Yes.
you've got all of these. You can apply all 15 pages, and you'll see that it'll change. Oopsies. I shouldn't have applied it to that page, but now you've got the whole thing here.
Yeah.
And in order to change the coloring, what you can do, it's the new feature, which is the brand hub. So I have my own Instagram branding set up for my realtor side.
Good.
So these are my colors, and you literally click this.
Those look familiar.
I know, but look at this. It changes. So it changes it, but I can hit shuffle,
Yep.
and it will just keep. You can just keep playing around with the setup you like. So you might have a few different colors that you use. Maybe you have 5 or 6. It'll
Yeah.
shuffle between the two, and you've got your listing presentation. Like
That
that was
shuffle is
super fast.
huge because I mean, I remember when I'd have to go and you have to hold Alt and you have to select all the different pieces that you want to change the colors for. But with this, you just hit shuffle and it seems like it changes the contrast for you just automatically. Very, very, very
Well,
easy.
and
Very
then it's
clean.
knows like, what do I want it to look like? Instead of I used to be even more crazy and I would pick the element and then
Yes.
change the color,
Yep.
right?
Of the
Now it's
element
smart
itself.
enough to know document colors so that you're not completely off, but it even has photo colors. You can, if you want to keep everything looking super whatever. And then
Yep.
there's all these. So there's just so many options now, and it makes it so easy to create a listing presentation that is custom to you, because clearly you're not going to use this. Please
Right.
don't. Please don't use this template. Please just take, you literally can copy this and use AI, use ChatGPT, copy it, put it into your ChatGPT and change it, or use your brain and tell them
Yeah.
what you're specializing in. Because guess what? People do use Canva. So
All the time.
wouldn't it be weird if your client, maybe they were in marketing, they're like, this is so generic of a presentation. They go into Canva and they search listing presentation, and then they find your listing presentation. Well, they're not going to find it if you actually customize it to your colors, to your style. I think that's super important to remember. We've been talking about this in our last episode too. AI is here to assist you, not to
Yes.
replace you.
Yes.
Um, it's there to assist your assistant if they're creating something. You've got your brand package set up and then you're ready to go. They can easily do this for you, and you're not, because it maybe is not the highest and best use of your time to be creating this. Maybe they can maybe write a list for you of all the things they need from you, so that you can plug in that in text, and then they can throw it in and make it look all nice. But yeah,
You know,
that's listing presentation. And
I don't want to
then
spend a whole lot of time on this, but I do want to
yeah,
touch on the importance of even having like brand colors. Like a lot of people don't
yeah.
think about that when they're starting their real estate business. They're like, no, 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 I'm going to work for somebody else and I'm just going to, I'll figure it out as I go. Let me
Well,
just
and the
sell my
brand
first house.
brand colors I was going to talk about at the very end.
Okay,
So
we'll save it. We'll
people
save it
can
then.
kind of wait for the end. I wanted
Thank
to
you.
show you guys, like, people are doing YouTube all the time too, right? They want to do thumbnails. So Canva also can do thumbnails. I love how it's like, look at this, all the stars. It's like it's
Yeah,
magical. It's
because it wants you to think it's
it's
Disneyland.
all AI. It's all
Yeah.
AI, right? It is all AI. That's like, we're showing you how to use Canva, but we're also showing you that AI is implemented in here because it needs to be smart to know what to search for. So if I say YouTube thumbnail, now obviously I've done thumbnails for my YouTube channel also. So these are templates, but you can also go to your projects and it'll show you anything that you've done that were projects to do with YouTube. So that's the search capability that they're using AI in. But
Yep.
you can literally just grab, so you can start from media, which we just did, or you can grab one of these. I'm just grabbing a generic one. So clearly it would be better if it was you doing this. Oh crap, Ian, my camera has died.
Your camera died.
Do
No.
you want me to do the other camera? Like, just, I don't know.
Yeah,
This is
that's
not gonna
fine. That's fine. We'll keep going.
this sucks. Lame. Okay, I gotta put this back up though. Because I took it down because it was in the way. Maybe next time I just use my webcam.
Well, I'll send you the thing. It'll probably be there in 2 days. I don't know what shipping's like in Canada, but
What
like
thing?
Amazon, how quickly.
Oh,
So if I send you the link and you can the one you can buy because it's a
yeah.
what is it, a A6400 or
Sony ZVE10.
is it
How come
okay?
it's
Yeah,
not recording again?
I don't know. I'm waiting for it. It's supposed to. It's just doing the little circle thing.
It does have a red record button on my tab, but it doesn't have the recording tab.
Yeah, because I pressed the button. I'm just waiting for it to start
Oh, weird.
because I paused it. I've never paused it before.
I guess we shouldn't pause things.
Well, I don't know if this is. I mean, my internet seems to be fine today, but
But I don't know why it's not unpausing itself.
yeah,
Can you hit pause again?
I just tried. Didn't do anything.
Uh-oh.
It's just circling.
The rainbow of death, circle of
Yep.
death.
Circle of death.
Well, we can always just like pick up again, like from here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still. Oh, darn it. Okay, that's really bad. I'm gonna try to leave and come back. It's not gonna matter. I'm gonna try it anyway.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'm back and now we're going. All right. So we had some
Oh,
minor
perfect.
difficulties with technology and cameras and batteries, but we are back. Let's roll.
Are you sure? Because it's not showing me recording on my side.
Yeah, it's showing me. We're good.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so we pick the thumbnail that you want. You can see there's like a zillion thumbnails. Now, how to create the right thumbnail is a whole nother episode. Obviously, we know that because we
Yeah.
have to talk about how you choose the elements, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to show you that today. We're talking just about design and AI. So, what you can do here is you can just grab this picture, see, and get rid of it. So you can use your own photo. So if I'm uploading a photo, there's some photos here. Let's say I'm
Yep.
going to use
Do it.
this one. Here's some AI. Oh, first let's delete this guy.
Get rid of him. What's he doing there?
Let's do edit photo. Look, magic. So see, magic is AI. Don't forget, right? So magic eraser. I'm going to actually. I don't want to do magic eraser. I want to just do
Yeah,
the
just do the
background.
BG remover,
That's
the
way
background
faster.
remover.
Now, there is something cool that I saw the other day with Magic Eraser and Magic Edit. It's kind of crazy. So there, I can just make that big.
Yep.
You want this. If I want to create.
Wait. You see that house right there?
Yes, that is the house.
That house is everywhere. I can tell
Yep.
when it's a rookie realtor or a bad
No.
YouTube video because that house shows up. That means
Guess
they haven't
what?
changed anything. They haven't done
That's
any. They know how to use Canva, but they haven't
okay.
gotten their own house.
But I want to tell you that that house, the reason I have it in here is we have been doing some research on thumbnails that work really well.
Yeah.
And that stupid house is in there. Now, obviously, it's not exactly like that. It's been modified. But there is some disclaimers.
If it's modified, that's one thing. But the reason why I keep whining about that particular house, it means so if you've done a lot of research and people are gravitating toward it, it's because it's used everywhere.
Yes.
Right. People are used to seeing it. It's that familiarity.
It's a clickability, but we digress because this is not the actual topic. But anyways,
correct. Thanks. Sorry.
I just quickly changed the photo by hitting you select the image, you click position, you click to back, and now this is a completely different look than what we started off with, right? So this is what we started off with. This is what's here. It's more personal. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of how to make a successful clickable thumbnail. I just wanted to show you the elements of how to use Canva's design features. If you want to create an Instagram post, I want to show you this, Ian. I don't know if you've seen this before or done this before.
I've seen everything.
Okay, he's seen everything. He's seen all of the magic. He is the magic. Instagram post. Let's do square Instagram post. I don't know. What do we want to? What do we want to do?
I actually like the one with the guy in the picture, right above that,
Where?
right above it.
This one?
Black, yeah,
Okay.
or the woman in the picture.
We're gonna use this, and I want to do magic. Where's my magic? It just went away. Okay. This is not this picture you chose apparently doesn't want to be magic edited because it's got the background remover, but it doesn't have the magic edit, which we had in the last one. Oh,
So that's my fault.
where
Pick a different picture then.
that's really weird. Let's pick a see here's with this smart mock-up. That's another thing for you guys to use. Like if people want to make posts that you see people do Instagram and they have their own personal design, that's how they do it. They just do this, right?
Yep.
Actually, while I'm on hacks, if you Google flat lay, you've got tons of ability to grab designs that you can just change to your thing. So if you have I don't know, market stats or something, if you want to talk about market stats, people always wonder, how do I get something nice and flat like this? I can add replace current page. You can have that. It's like basically from top down. They call it flat lay, and you can customize it. Instead of searching all of the photos of what I want to do, you just click choose flat lay, and then it shows you all of those things. Anyways, that was just a random hack. What I wanted to show was the magic edit portion because that's also AI, and it's kind of crazy in terms of what you can do. Let me just pick a picture of on bench. Oh, that's great. None of these are.
You're in templates.
Oh, I'm in design. That's why. Instagram post. I'm going to pick a more generic. Let's choose this woman. Even though realtors don't sell, it looks like clothing that it's selling.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
And then I'm going to see if I can edit this photo. No, this is annoying. Let's pick a photo that is more editable.
Yeah, just look for a basic photo of a woman on a bench. Woman toilet. Don't do that.
What?
That's what it said. That's what came up.
How
about the one with the mountain right there?
I need something that's more close up because I want to show you how to. This is annoying. Here, see all. I want something. Oh, here. This is horrible, but look at this text to image by Canva. Type what you want to see and watch it come to life. Well, isn't that what I did? Okay, here's a better example. Let's pretend you have I'm going to delete this. Let's pretend you had a photo that you took at a listing and it had these flowers.
Yes.
You didn't want the flowers. Edit. Magic edit. It has gone away. I don't know what happened. Remember, we saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Why is it doing this? Well, anyways, in Magic Edit, people who are listening on podcasts don't even see that I'm having technical issues. Yeah. You can actually take this completely out to remove it, but you can also actually ask it to replace it with something completely different. So you can put a cat on there. Not that you want to put a cat on your listing photo, but it's really interesting that you can use AI in that.
Depends on your audience. Their demographics, psychographics, all that. You might want to put a cat.
Maybe it's the vibe that you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that
this
time?
I have to put this little plug in here. If you are on Android, that's built into the phone.
Oh, you're an Android user?
I have been. I recently was forced to switch because iPhone users are.
You're a green bubble person.
Well, that's why, because they wouldn't. People wouldn't invite me to group text, and I was like, "Are you serious?" So I was actually losing money as a realtor because I wouldn't switch to an iPhone, and that was unacceptable.
That's hilarious. I've always been
because everyone else is
user.
stubborn. That's what it is.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, anyways, so Ian, what are your thoughts? Like, I mean, obviously, there's a massive future in AI. And that's why Canva has fully invested into using AI. Um,
So and this is across platforms. It's the same thing with our CRMs, and we're not going to go deep into that, but whenever you have AI involved, you always question, is it better to have the AI versus a human interaction? You can use this for limiting your out of pocket costs, right? Instead of a
100%.
designer, instead of hiring a designer, this this magic tool, some of these magic tools within Canva will let you create quick thumbnails. If you need to edit a picture, remove a background, that was already in Canva, but now you can take an item out of a picture. You can replace it with something. You can just be a little more creative when you didn't have the potential to do that before. A lot of times you would have to have, what is it, Photoshop skills, editing
Right.
skills. And
So
so,
what you just exactly said, instead of needing to hire a graphic designer that costs you up here,
yeah,
you could maybe ask your assistant who doesn't have the graphic design skills, but you're paying them an assistant wage, not a graphic designer wage, to do
right,
the same thing.
right.
Yeah.
So there's a segue conversation, and a lot of people have been running into the ethical dilemma of using AI photos specifically. So we talked about this
Yes.
earlier. Your son likes digital art.
Yeah, he is
Well,
a digital artist, and he
yeah,
has made the comment because you can see in our beautiful thumbnail for this podcast. Ian's idea was it's all about tech, so we should use tech. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. I want to support my son. And I
yeah,
downloaded the Lensa app and I used it because I mean, we saw all the realtors post all these photos of themselves being generated because my son was saying that basically the AI is grabbing styles from the internet. So these are from actual artists. They're grabbing and essentially stealing their styles and recreating it for very, very cheap, right? For like $10, you can get 100 photos, right?
yeah,
No
yeah.
human can generate that. And if they did, they wouldn't be making any money anymore.
Right.
So, yes, there's the element of style, but if AI is
Well,
stealing the style,
and there's no time commitment. You can do it at 6 in the morning if
yeah,
that's when you're awake, and your designer, if they're in a different country, you don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about how many outputs they can do within a time frame. It's as fast as you can type. There's so much there that they never sleep. Right? You could have a whole team of people that just focuses on that.
yes,
It's
100%. So
yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
intense.
I see the dilemma.
Yeah.
I think if you use it appropriately and you support where you need to. So for example, we still use my son to create the postcards for our clients when they get a house. He
Hmm.
draws a photo of the home uh, for digitally, and then we
Okay.
make those into postcards and give them to gifts as clients. And my clients love it. They love when I tell them that my son drew it. It's the house that they have. Could I use Lensa? 100%. I probably could have, but I'd rather support my son that way. So I feel like if I'm using AI in a responsible, ethical way, it makes
Well,
sense.
and so the other thing is when you're getting something, when you're relating something to the AI, to AI in general. So like your picture that your son created has meaning behind it. If you just went and
Mhm.
got something off the internet and it was AI driven, and then you sent it to people, they don't care unless
Well, I think they would still,
unless
if
it
you
was
took their
their
picture,
house,
yes.
and then you had your son draw one, and then you had like five other variations, maybe as smaller cards or something. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's tough. It's
For
challenging.
me, it's the same idea, honestly, like supporting local.
Well,
You can support franchise or you can support local.
yeah,
And local businesses tend to cost more money, obviously. They don't have the same type of, what is the word I'm looking for? The
infrastructure
Yeah, they don't have the ability to like a Costco to give you the price for this price.
to scale the
But
wholesale costs.
right. But somebody who is locally owned, you're supporting a local business. So I feel like you have to really decide on that with the whole AI thing. You really got to think about what's important to you. For me, it's important. Maybe it's not important to someone else, and they're like, "Hey, I like that idea. I'm going to use AI. It's going to be way cheaper." That's on you. That's your own moral, conscious, and ethical issue. I know, especially because my son is a digital artist, I'm like literally connected with that community that I don't want to
Well,
not support it.
I'm going to hit you with a good one.
What's
It's
that?
no different than people buying a house using Open Door or one of those apps versus
Yeah.
using a real estate agent. You can
Yep.
be a keyboard warrior, search Google, do all of your own research, and now you have your what you think are your answers. But there's always that one element of um, that it's almost like the personalization of a real estate agent
Mhm.
that knows you, right? So same
100%.
with an artist, that's it's like they're spending their time creating something specific to you, where the AI is just very generic, very general.
Yep. Yep. No, and I think that's definitely in like that's something we wanted to make sure we talked about because that is part of AI, right?
Hmm.
When it comes to user experience, I think AI, you saw that in Canva. It makes it way easier, right? Like I can before you could type woman with a sitting on a bench and you would not get anything. It would maybe just search the first word like woman. It didn't have the
Yeah.
capacity to do the whole thing.
Yep.
So I think it saves you so much time because when you're trying to put together an Instagram post or any kind of there's B-roll on Canva too. So if you want to have B-roll for your YouTube videos,
Yes.
it's so much easier because maybe you just talked about I don't know, you talked about kids in a playground. Well, instead of going out, maybe because so you guys don't have this, but we have snow and it doesn't film very well when it's kids in a playground in this barren snow land. So you can just search kids playing in a playground and you can find some generic looking B roll just to throw in to keep that video a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So I
And
think it improves it
if it's in Canva and it's a pro, you can that's free for you to use. Yeah. I mean, you're able to use that without worrying about copyright infringement or anything, right?
in Canva. Yes, it's just
Yeah.
it's like the Pixabay and like the
Yep.
different platforms that had
Yep.
royalty free
Yep.
photos on there. They have
Yeah.
photos. They have photos of your city too. I searched
Oh,
photos of my
absolutely, and
city and I was
videos. Oh, yeah,
shocked.
yeah, I can find a
Yeah.
Texas flag waving above Austin all day, every day,
Yeah.
and, all these different angles, drone shots, all of it. Yeah, it exists. So for anybody who's watching this or listening to this, if you have the capacity to put comments, let us know what your favorite features are in Canva, or even if you're using it in your real estate business and how, because that's kind of important. And we want to be able to dive into that in future episodes, how deep we go with Canva, with the AI specifically. Why don't we do we want to do the bonus, or do we want to go into Chat GPT and play around with use
Well,
cases for Canva magic tool?
right. Well, and I also wanted to show it. We were talking about the branding, how to do branding, because we kind of talked about it briefly, and I said I want to talk to you about it
Oh yeah,
later.
let's pull that up.
So let's go into Canva if you want to share that screen.
I lost it
Oh,
when we
right.
had the technical difficulties, so you gotta
I gotta
reshare it
share it
for me.
again.
I know.
Share it again. Here's my Canva. Okay. So in Canva, let's go back to home. There is the ability to do branding. So if you know what your brand is, perfect. If you don't, you can choose your own branding. So I have a few brand packages I've already done, but what you can do is you can click add new and podcast branding. You
Mm.
literally, the nice thing is that then if you've got an assistant or social media or VAs helping you and you've already created this, you like use this branding and only this branding. You can use logos, you can use colors, fonts, you can choose the style of font you want. So you can basically not let anybody choose. And hey, if you're using a quote, it's going to be in this font. If you're going to use a section header or subheading, blah, 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 like all the stuff here. You have photos in here, graphics, icons. It's so simple. If you don't have one, if you click their get started, it'll actually give you ideas of literally you
All
can
of
just
them.
choose. Yeah. You don't need to actually know. Oh, it didn't open up the screen. When I like clicked get started,
Oh,
it opened
because
up another
yeah,
window.
the way the
Yeah.
share is going.
If you want to do logos or let's say colors, you can add a palette or you can add guidelines. Like it can get really specific. You can change the name. Doesn't have to say color palette, but like let's say add new. So you've got the whole thing that you can play around with. But I had an Etsy style that I really liked. Like I bought a template off of Etsy
Okay.
and I was able to just put it all in and it grabs all the colors for you.
Yeah.
So then I didn't have to recreate. So let me just go back here. So under my coaching, I bought some Etsy templates and then it was able to just grab all the colors. So instead of
Right.
sitting there
Right.
typing all of them, I was
Yep.
able to put them in, because when you're actually in the Canva project itself, you can actually build it and add it. So if I show you a project that I've, where's my projects here? Projects. And let's say I was working on, well, there's our Wired for Real Estate podcast. So let's say we were working on this,
Yep.
and I have Brand
It
Hub.
didn't. It didn't open it in the same view.
Oh,
So we got to
brother.
reshare stream.
Here, this
Stream.
tab. There you go.
There we go.
You see
Thank
it?
you.
So you can see here the colors, and you can see this is crazy. You look like a normal person. I look like some weird.
I don't even look the same as I do on my monitor. I'm looking at my color. My color seems like it's just a little off, a little more yellow than
Well, I'm
normal.
not that white, I tell you that, and I don't
Yeah.
look like. But you can click brand templates, and you can see here where you click the drop down, search for
Yep.
brand kit.
Yep.
So let's say podcast branding. We didn't do anything yet on here. You can literally click see all. Oh, sorry. This is like, I want to add. So you can add fonts. You can add the fonts that you were already using in here. If you
Yeah.
really wanted to do it this way and create it backwards.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
all of our posts will have that same look if we wanted to use the brand side of things, right? Because I mean, it gets pretty intricate, and I mean, this is not a complete how-to. So
well, it's also
shameless
not supposed
plug.
to be a branding class, but it's the
Yeah,
most. It's one of the most important things when you're thinking about the design for anything, for a listing presentation. If it doesn't follow your brand guidelines, like if it doesn't mesh with your website or with maybe your newsletter or your flyers, it all just looks bad.
it doesn't.
Honestly,
It's not cohesive.
it's not cohesive. And so if you're creating these AI driven images or designs, you might as well implement the brand part of it up front, and then everything ends up looking more cohesive, like you had mentioned.
Right. And let's just, I'm going to put my coaching hat on for a second.
Yeah.
Please do not get so tied up with the busy work of creating a branding package.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it is about selling real estate, right? So it's important if you have some time blocked off for like CEO time, office time, or maybe you get an assistant to help you work on it, do it. But I know that there's agents that are so tied up with like, what's the best CRM? And they research for hours for CRMs, or they research the best for design or the best thumbnails. And they get so caught up in that. The whole purpose of showing you AI and design today and talking about it is to help you leverage your time to bring your business up so that you can do more things that are the highest and best use of your time. Maybe have more effective thumbnails, more effective marketing to actually get you more clients. Because that's ultimately where you and I are both producing realtors. We
Yeah.
both want to see clients, not just spending 10 hours. Because you could totally get stuck in the Canva world of just sitting there. And like you said at the beginning, we're not graphic designers. So we should
That's not
not be
who we
sitting
are.
at the computer all day doing graphic design work.
Well, unless you're making t-shirts like me, right? Okay, so let me go. I do want to use that as a segue to go into our bonus content, our
Yeah.
bonus section of today. So I'm glad if you've made it this far. This is really, really, really cool. So ChatGPT, we talk about that. We'll probably talk about that on every episode in some capacity. We know that it's great for typing in text and getting prompts. There's an image version by the same company, OpenAI Labs, called DAL-E. So I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to show it right here. Same exact
So
thing.
for listeners,
Thank
how
you.
do we spell DAL-E?
Oh, DALL. Well, so you go to the same website, labs.openai.com. And as you're scrolling through, you're looking at the menu of menu of products. Then DALL-E, DALLE, will be one of those options, just like ChatGPT is one of those options. And there's a
Okay.
couple
And
others,
then
but this one is the
pulls up this one. And then now
yeah.
we can see a whole bunch of random
A
images.
bunch of random images, right? So here's what it is. Like imagine just like ChatGPT, you have a prompt. So you can start with the description of something, or you can upload an existing image. So if I type a description of an image in my head of a picture, it generates that image. So the example is an impressionist oil painting of sunflowers in a purple vase. Okay, I'm going to augment that a little bit. I'm going to say an impressionist image of a house in Texas surrounded by bluebonnets during
Is
sunset.
is that a thing? You have blue bonnets? That sounds like
Oh,
a
all
movie.
over.
Oh my gosh. Well, I
Oh
live in
my
Canada.
gosh. What? What?
We just
Okay,
that's
so I'm
a
gonna,
you're a movie, that's all.
yeah, I'm gonna hit
Okay.
generate.
I was gonna say that's not a blue bonnet. That
No,
is
no, no.
a
It's
random
loading, and I've been playing with this a little bit. I didn't clear my recent some of my
a
recent.
fortune telling. Oh, okay, there
There,
we go.
boom.
Oh,
Look at that. Look
why
at
is the
that.
last one so blurry?
I don't know, but I can generate more. Look, 10 credits left. You have 15 free
Oh,
credits. They'll refill, or you can buy more credits now. But if I just want to generate a couple
and it gave you
images,
four options of the first option's kind of weird. It had no house really in it, but because it's
it's
like
hiding
all
back
way in
there.
the back.
Well, the
Yeah.
problem is I said impressionist painting. You know what else? Look at the colors. It has the different colors like scheme
Yeah.
down at the bottom.
Yeah,
That
it's
one is kind of cool.
that's definitely really interesting. And so where would a
That's
realtor
terrible.
use DALL-E? Like I can say, so we talked
Oh,
about
great.
earlier.
Great example. So you
Yeah.
can take this if your well, this was an impressionist version, but if your conversation was around creating thumbnails, it doesn't have to be an impressionist version. You could just be a flat version. It could be a cyberpunk version, kind of like our image thumbnail for our podcast. You can create any style. And I just made a picture of a house in bluebonnets in Texas, and it's done. Right? I can
Right.
throw some text on over there or upload this into Canva if I wanted to. And now
Could
I've
it
got my
create a thumbnail like with all the elements? So if you said create a YouTube thumbnail for a video about moving to Texas, would it actually give you all the elements done?
today. It doesn't do as well, especially well, it depends on your thumbnail theory, which is this is not the purpose of this
Yes.
conversation. But if the thumbnail theory is to create a story through an image without having to have text on the thumbnail, like the thumbnail is so good that you don't need text to know what it is, then yes,
Okay, so DALL-E is literally just an image, no text on it at
just an
all.
image.
Okay. But you
That is what it
yeah.
is.
I was just thinking that would be a really cool thing. You could just say, make me the thumbnail, right? Like just kind of how we use ChatGPT for the prompts. But it definitely, because this whole image thing and art thing kind of goes back and it always makes me kind of uncomfortable when it comes to stealing styles, like, and
Yes,
I like art and I like making art as well. And so it is cool, but I'm like, I'd rather use AI in the chat form and not the art form. That's just me.
I hear you. Well, look, I just said create a steampunk version of the same thing.
That's hilarious.
Look how
And it
great
did.
that is.
Yeah, it absolutely did do
That
it.
is a beautiful thumbnail.
Yep.
If I was talking about what if you could turn this house like imagine as a realtor, I'm doing a video about a house that is very bland. We had this discussion earlier. Man, this house is boring. It's 3 beds, 2 baths. It's the same thing that on a quarter acre. That's what everybody who's moving to the suburbs is looking for here, right? Now imagine if I did, oh, what does this look like in steampunk? What does this look like in modern? What does this look like in
Just
cyber?
as in like a little, just something fun to advertise the listing, but not
It,
necessarily. It's obviously doesn't look like that in real life, but it's just
that's
something,
outside. You're thinking outside. What if I wanted room design?
right?
Right? What
True.
if I wanted virtual staging? Like the room looks like this now, but it could also look like
Well, I think this is just a still a good, fun idea because it's relevant because it's AI, and you're like, look at what this house looks like in the different styles of art. Not because that's why they're gonna buy it, but it brings attention to the listing, and it's a way to kind of get people interested in the listing, right?
yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a great way. And it's a
Mhm.
unique way because how many people are actually doing that?
Right. Yeah. 100%. Well, that's like our AI design conversation, I think.
I think it was pretty good. So the
Yeah.
question is how are you gonna use it? How are you gonna implement it?
Right.
So
We talk about this in every episode. How are we going to challenge you listeners and viewers to implement what you learned and heard today? We don't want you just to hear it and be like, "Oh, that was cool." Because that's the danger of hearing about things all the time. This podcast is It wants to help you. So we want to challenge you. Use Canva and create an image, or use DALL-E and create an image and post it
Mm-hmm.
and tag us. Our Instagram handles are on here. And for people who are listening on the podcast, it's going to be on the description.
I
Tag
love
us
that.
and say, hey, look what we did. And no one needs to know that you used AI, but we'll
Right.
know.
Right. I love that. And most importantly, remember, don't let indecision be the decision. Take care, and we'll see y'all again soon.